A few years ago, in my sophomore year of high school, I tried my first go at No Nut November. This is more of a lighthearted video, but this story is just kind of crazy. So back at this time, guys were at peak hormone levels, and when I say that, I'm saying that we had a drive for girls unlike ever before. I honestly believe that back then in early high school, I had more of a drive to chase after girls, if you know what I mean, than I even do now. So at this time, all of my friends ended up making this Snapchat group chat literally called like just November period. And there was probably anywhere from like 20 to like 40 guys in this group chat. Now the challenge here was very simple. If you were in the group chat, you were in the challenge. And you were not allowed to do the thing for the whole month of November. You know what I'm talking about. Now, when I was added to this group chat, I was almost certain that there's no way that I lose this challenge. It's so easy. All I have to do is not watch Korn and not fail No Nut November. That's really easy. So day one starts, and during the first day, I kid you not, this is even like a laughable thing. Literally, I would say about half the people left the group chat. And what that told me was that all of these kids who were doing this really either didn't care about it or they had that little amount of willpower that they could not control themselves. And this actually made me think that all of these people around me literally have zero self-control. And this is one of the most important things in life, because if you want to get anything done with value, of course, you're going to have to control yourself and have discipline. So half the board instantly wiped out. And now I'm just thinking, okay, I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm comfortable not doing this maybe for like a few days or something, but going the entire month might be a different story. So I was just willing to see and test myself. As this continued, people keep leaving the group chat left and right, and all of my friends at school would talk about it. And they actually went into detail about stuff that they were watching, which to me is kind of crazy. It's like, bro, explaining that to like everyone around you is like, should not be normal. It became such a normal thing to just talk about Korn, like at school. And this is like either middle school or high school at this point. It was like early high school, I believe. And this was so normalized that it wasn't even a weird thing to talk about the videos that you watched and got off to. So now about a week went by. Almost everyone was out of the group chat. I would say there was probably about 10 people left, including myself. And I thought that this was a breeze. It's no problem at all. All I have to do is go 3 more weeks without this. That's no problem. Until it was a problem. See, what made this a problem for me is that I would talk to girls all the time at my school. And the thing is, there were a lot of thoughts at my school, if you want to say that. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but it was a lot of girls who would be very promiscuous. And as much as I hate it, as much as I wish this wasn't the case, when you talk to girls like this, it definitely leads your mind down this sort of path of like sexual thoughts or desires, I guess. And look, honestly, I don't even know why I'm telling you guys this. I just want to be fully transparent and authentic here and just tell you the truth, because I know that you watching this right now, especially if you're a guy, you relate to this. This is not just something that happens to only me. That's why I'm willing to say it. So now this is where things got really weird. Throughout the school day, a lot of girls would actually try to do things to make guys lose this challenge. They would say certain things, act really sexual, or just anything like this. And to me, that was even weirder, because now at my school, people are talking about this. It's a normal thing. And also a lot of my friends were talking about how they were sleeping with their girlfriends or all this. Mind you, we're like young teenagers. And at this point, I was still like in the phase where I was afraid of girls. So I don't know. All of that was a very unique thing to me. So this is where it gets even worse. One of these type of thought girls who was very promiscuous all the time was talking to me. And what really makes this weird is that she had a boyfriend at the time, but we were just sitting talking in class, and she kept making jokes about me losing the challenge. And for me, this made me very uncomfortable, because I don't know, this is a girl that has a boyfriend. I'm friends with her boyfriend, and honestly, I'm still afraid of women, like I was saying. This just felt so wrong in so many ways, and I was not really for it. But as she's talking to me, day by day, she would not stop making the same jokes over and over about me failing, and then returning to ask me every day if I had failed. Now, I, like I said, was uncomfortable. I didn't like this, but for some reason, this planted a seed in my head. The seed that I never wish had came. This challenge suddenly became very hard. Pause that. Just don't take that out of context. That sounds really weird, but it did. And it's because this girl would not stop doing this. Now, luckily for me, I respect my friends, and I actually moved away so that this girl would stop annoying me about this dumb thing. But this did not stop the challenge. This actually made it a lot worse. Because she said these things so much, it sparked thoughts in my head and previous encounters that I had that had made me, I guess, relapse. Yeah, I'll just use the term relapse from here on out, because I am not gonna say whatever else I'm supposed to say for No Nut November. It's just a weird topic. So her saying that planted a seed in my head that made me think about the last time that I relapsed. And if anybody has done this, you know that it gives you so much dopamine that it is next level. It is the equivalent of literally like taking a drug or something. And I've never done drugs, but that's what I'm assuming. So it puts you on top of the world. So that same day that I got home after this girl kept doing this, one of these days I knew that I was going to fail, or at least that's what I thought. So I go to my room, I'm just thinking, and I'm literally sitting there on my couch, just trying to clear my head, trying to think about something else, but all I can think about is girls, girls, girls nonstop. And all I'm thinking about is this dopamine hit. And for anybody who doesn't know this, it's almost like a bell curve when it comes to this addiction, where it's really easy at the start to not do, but it gets harder, harder, harder until eventually it hits a peak amount of hardness. Dude, this just sounds so weird, but it hits a peak amount of hardness where it is almost impossible not to fail this challenge. And then if you can pass that, it gets really easy. So now I'm literally at the height of everything. This is the hardest it has ever been. The seeds are all in my head. I have Instagram girls on my phone doing all this, and I'm trying to like block it out. There's girls on TikTok, everything. And if you know me, or if you know any guy, you know that when they see a girl on TikTok that's doing these dances, it just makes you think of that stuff, because that's the whole point. That's what they're trying to do. And these social platforms know exactly what they're doing. And I swear they make it worse in this time of the year, because this whole thing is now a trend. So now I'm sitting there, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to be completely honest, authentic with you. This is right after I got out of the shower. I'm wearing nothing. I'm thinking about I'm going to do this, and then I stop myself right before anything happens. I get dressed. I just go to sleep. I'm like, I need to sleep. I need to get my mind off of this. And I wake up the next day, go to school, and I check the group chat. There's only 3 people left. So even if I don't last the entire month of November, I've at least beat most of the people in my group. But in my head, honestly, I'm thinking there's no way I last the whole month unless I win by a miracle. So after the second week goes by, I only have 2 weeks left. And this is where it all went downhill. It was me and one other guy in the group chat. And I'm thinking this is going to be so easy to outlast this guy. Until eventually a girl comes up to me, one girl that I actually had a crush on at the time, and she started talking to me non-stop, and she was making these weird jokes once again about the whole November thing. And this girl has never acted this way towards me once, but now she's acting really sexual out of nowhere, and I was honestly just against it. I did not want this to happen, but that was it. It reminded me too much of the dopamine spikes and how much my brain liked doing this stupid thing. So I go home that day and I relapsed. But what I didn't do, I didn't leave the group chat because I felt too ashamed to admit this. I thought that I was above everyone else there, but apparently I wasn't. So now as I'm looking back on the time, I learned an extremely important lesson, and you need to hear this. This is the most important thing. If you stay around for any part of the video, you need to hear this part. I failed No Nut November, and I actually regret it, but I think you should too. But only if you know that you will not fail the actual serious challenges that you have in life. A stupid challenge like this doesn't really mean anything. It's just a way to prove to yourself that you can do it. So go ahead and fail, but I need you to make a promise to you and myself. Do not allow yourself to fail the challenges that you actually care about. So if you actually care about No Nut November, you better not fail. You don't have control over other people, the weather, the things that happen to you in life. A lot of them you basically have no control over whatsoever, but what you do have control over is your mind. So I'm here to tell you something that nobody else will. Go ahead and fail No Nut November. The real challenges that we face in life are what truly determine who we are as people. Good luck.